Well, so the big question that we're asking is, does the UPA's refusal to discuss the AgustaWestland's kickback trail also indicate its resentment with the government's efforts to unearth black money? And to discuss that and the topic associated with it is Praful Ketkar, the editor of The Organizer. Thank you very much for being with us. Firstly, so the government is going heavily against black money. Obviously, kickbacks are black money. And, you know, a resentment or a unwillingness to discuss something like this can be associated with, you know, a desire not to or to, you know, shy away from it.
See, it is very unfortunate. Till now, the situation was who wants to discuss and who wants, to block others from speaking. So,
Right.
allegations and counter allegations were going on till yesterday. There were threats of, of earthquake, and then a threat of, having personal information about corruption. But it looks like now that it is, a very well-crafted strategy, because the day Air Marshal Tyagi was arrested and his family members were arrested by CBI,
Okay.
it was clear that some more things will come up in this matter.
Yes.
Frankly speaking, Christian Michel's letter was unearthed way back in 2013.
Yes. Sure.
But what has come out now in his secret diary, that is just substantiating what he was writing that time in the letter. For me, the more serious matter is what Air Marshal Tyagi is saying.
Okay.
And it is a valid point that in a democracy like India, where armed forces are controlled by the civilian government,
Yes.
can specifications related to a VIP chopper deal, which is used for the political VIPs,
Okay.
can be changed without the consent from the political authority?
Okay. No,
So
sure. So let me just ask you something here, because this revelation of Christian Michel earlier itself, that Mrs. Gandhi is the driving force behind the deal and she will not fly in an Mi-8.
yeah.
Does that imply, can one imply from this statement that the specifications are being made according to what Mrs. Gandhi wants?
It looks like, because the specifications as far as the cabin height and the flying capacity of the helicopter was concerned, it was specifically meant for the this particular helicopter. Sure. Because with the changing specification, all other companies automatically got eliminated.
Now, who is the driving force of the change? I mean, by this statement, can we imply that the driving force of the state?
That's what Christian Michel is openly saying.
Okay.
And interestingly, on basis of this, on the basis of this confession, Italian court has taken serious action against the company, against the bribe payers.
Sure.
So we are facing the unfortunate situation that in a foreign country,
Okay.
the payers of the bribe are facing the court of law,
Okay.
but people who are accepted the bribe, allegedly, they are
But the Italians are also under investigating the money that has come back into Italy
absolutely.
as well.
Now, another important point here is, you have arrested a person from Air Force.
The
now
former
it
chief.
has Air Chief, and it has a big impact on the morale of the Air Force. And
Sure.
if you don't touch the bureaucrats and the political authorities involved in this, then it will give a very wrong message.
Sure.
So the issue is not only of corruption. The way procurement has taken place till now in India, the transparency has to be restored in that.
Sure.
So many issues are involved, and that's why a detailed discussion is needed on this issue.
So let's try and understand. You talked about the modus operandi, what is actually happening. The number of, he's given certain amounts, 8.4 million to bureaucrats. 15 to 16 million to a political party,
family.
to a political family, 6 million to IAF officers, and he's given some details.
Yes.
DCH, PDSR, which stands for Project Director, Deputy Chief, etc. And then also, I mean, then there's 8.4 million to MOD officers, which include DS, which will probably be Secretary Defense, then JS, or something like that, AFA, Financial Advisor, DG Acquisition, and then mentions CVC and Auditor General. So, I mean, if one looks at this from the point of view of, let's say, a middleman, what he's trying to do. He's actually looking at all these people who are people of some influence.
Absolutely.
And to try and get a deal done. Not that they are all could be involved. I mean, one can presume that they could be involved, but at least the middleman is saying this is the method in which things are done in this country.
See, since Bofor's times,
Yes.
It is a widely accepted fact, especially among the experts who are dealing with the defense and procurement process, that without middlemen, no defense deal can be seen. That is, unwritten rule in many countries, and it is true also with India. So I am not surprised that some names are being cropped up, and he is openly, dare to take such names.
Right.
For me, the real concern
it shows a certain network that
absolutely
one would imply, one would presume is the method to which a contract is got. Not that this contract may have been got that way. I mean, that we are just talking about the possibilities about how a contract is actually got.
Absolutely. Yeah. See, you can talk about, whether everyone was involved or not, that can be questioned. But the real issue is all this, these are connecting points.
Sure.
All these points basically involved in key decision making as far as defense procurement is concerned. So, sitting in Italy, he cannot make imagination about these points. Right. So, he is definitely well aware of this structure, who is involved in the decision making process, and who can be influenced.
Right.
So,
another point he does make in his interview, which was televised yesterday, he says that it is possible for the top management, the top leaders to take a decision based on merit, but the merit, the framework of what that merit is decided by other people, which means that, those people could be involved, but the top decision could be clean. But do you believe that something like that can happen in our system? That, the top management or the top leaders are not aware of what is happening below them?
I can't believe this in a democracy like India, where political authority or civilian authority controls the armed forces. Decisions can be taken only at the armed forces or air force level. There is a certain procedure. So, there is a specification committee, they approve the things, it goes to the defense ministry, defense secretary, to cabinet secretary, and it goes to the PMO, and then the decision is finalized, and it comes back. So, I can't believe, the then defense minister is openly saying that I'm sure that Sonia Gandhi is not involved. But he is running from the larger responsibility. Right. When he is saying that somebody is definitely not there, he should also, have investigated then when he cancelled the contract.
Where is the money trail?
Who is involved?
Absolutely.
And the direct onus is on him and the PMO.
No, and the money trail is like a smoking gun.
Absolutely.
Because, and the numbers are mentioned here. 15 to 16 million to a political family. What is this?
So, from bureaucrats to Air Force to CVC to some officials to political families. So there is a clear pattern in this.
Right.
So everybody. So I'm sure the way CBI is going ahead in this case, and with some key
52
people.
52 million is not a small sum of euros. I mean, one could be able to trace where this money is. And through that, obviously, you can find out 3,600
crore deal.
Yes.
And for that, the company has actually spent 16 million euro just for a political family. So it's you can understand the proportion. It also means that company is not doing a charity.
Absolutely.
The cost is somewhere involved, even in the the tender they have filed. So out of this 3,600 crore, actually what was the price, and how the price was shoot up just thanks to these kickbacks. It is a clear loss of our exchequer.
And one final question about Parliament itself. It's going to close tomorrow. So would we see, I mean, this has been a session of which has been a washout. People are disappointed, obviously, but do you think there could be some sort of change of mind?
It doesn't look like, unless, some special efforts are made and, some sense prevails on the political leadership from both the sides. I don't think, but it is very unfortunate that when the country is going through such a critical phase, when the issues like demonetization and now this unearthing of the kickbacks in Augusta deal, it is not being discussed, and certain things are not being brought out in front
Right.
of the common masses. It is really unfortunate for Indian democracy.
We leave with that. Thank you very much, Mr. Ketkar, for being with us
Thanks,
here
sir.
on
Thanks,
News
sir.
Night.